Hi everyone. Today I am giving you information on the topic keratometer. So let's move to its introduction. Keratometer is a machine. Basically the keratometer is a machine which is used to measure the curvature of the cornea. Curvature means that how the cornea is curved. And the process of measurement of the cornea, we are supposed to find out the vertical as well as the horizontal curvature of the cornea. Okay. So kerato means cornea and the metry means measurement. That's why its name is keratometer and the process is known as keratometry. This is somehow the curvature of the cornea and we have to find out the vertical as well as the horizontal curvature of the cornea. Okay, so this is the working of this machine. It is also known as ophthalmometer. So the another name of keratometer is ophthalmometer. Next one, this one is the machine and this one is the observer part. The observer have to keep one eye here and have to look the eye of the patient from here. The patient have to keep the chin rest here and touch the forehead and sit accordingly so that the observer can observe the patient. So by using this knob as well as one knob is present behind it which is used to measure the horizontal as well as the vertical curvature of the cornea. Next one, principle. So this one is based upon the doubling principle, the anterior surface of the cornea. As we know that the cornea has the two surfaces. First one is the anterior. So this one is the anterior surface, means the frontal surface is anterior surface and the posterior surface. The backward surface is known as a posterior surface. Anterior surface is visible to us. So the anterior surface of the cornea acts like a convex mirror and the size of the image forms varies with the curvature. Whatever the size of the image is varies from the curvature of the cornea. Cornea is comparable to the convex mirror and reflect the illuminated object of the size and the mirrors are formed in the image. Okay, so whatever the image is formed in the cornea, it will gives us the measurement of the vertical as well as the horizontal curvature because it acts like a mirror. Next one, so in this way the mirrors are formed. Okay, so if you can see here that the whitish color is the mirrors which are present in the machine and they get reflects on the cornea of the patient. Curvatures of the cornea. Now each cornea has the two curvatures. First one is the K1 which is a vertical curvature of the cornea. Vertical means this curvature and horizontal means this curvature. Because cornea is circular in shape, so vertical means this curvature of the cornea and horizontal means this curvature of the cornea. Okay, so K1 is a flat surface, K1 is a vertical curvature and K1 is always greater than the K2. Next curvature is the K2 curvature which is always a steep surface and a horizontal curvature and its value is always less than the K1. The procedure is instruct the patient to sit comfortably by keeping the chin on the chin rest and forehead attached to the band. Now we are supposed to ask the patient that the patient have to keep the eyes and they sit comfortably. The patient will sit by keeping chin on this and touch the forehead here and the examiner have to look from this. Okay, and the examiner will look from this and ask the patient illuminating the torch light from this surface and look at the patient cornea and ask the patient that whenever he or she can see the light, then we have to rotate it towards the another side of the patient from where the patient can see. Ask the patient not to blink the eyes. The patient is not supposed to blink the eyes because after every blink the readings got changed and the image will be blurred because of the tear film. The patient is not supposed to speak as well as move the forehead from there because the readings will get vanished then. Next one, now from the eyepiece look at the patient eye. Examiner have to illuminate the torch eye from the eyepiece and instruct the patient to look at a particular direction. Now the instructor have to look at the patient eye. So whenever the instructor will look at the patient eye, so first of all these mirrors will be appear. Okay, only this diagram will be appear. Now the examiner have to match these signs, the minus sign with this minus sign, plus sign with this plus sign. Okay, so first of all we have to clear the image by using the focus knob. There is a focus knob which is given at the underground and this one is the focus knob. By using this knob we have to adjust the focus and then the circles remain blur. Three circles with the plus and minus sign are shown, which are known as the Myers. These circles always remain blur. We have to adjust the focus by rotating the knob, and we have to clear out those circles. If you focus, then we have to overlap the signs. When we have to overlap the minus signs, vertical knobs are used. When we have to overlap the horizontal signs, then the another knob is used. Okay, so overlap minus sign, we have to adjust the vertical knob. We have to overlap the plus sign, we have to adjust the horizontal knob. Now we have to write down the readings from the vertical as well as the horizontal knob. Okay, sometimes in high astigmatism it will impossible to overlap the signs because it will not reflect the proper curvature of the cornea. Now the range of keratometer. So we have the Bosch and Lomb keratometer, which is mostly used. Its range is from 36 to 52 diopters only. When the curvature of the cornea is in this range from the 36 to 52, then the keratometer can measure it. Otherwise it can't measure. So to extend the keratometry values, we will add plus 1.25 diopter lens. We have to adjust the plus 1.25 diopter lens in the keratometer to extend its readings. So by adding 1.25, the keratometry readings will goes to 61. So means we can measure the corneal curvature from 36 diopter to 61 diopters. And if we have to extend the readings which are 36, then we have to add minus 1 lens. If we'll add the minus 1 lens, then we'll get the K1 readings from the 30 diopters. Let's move to the next. Uses of keratometer. Keratometer is used for the measurement of the corneal astigmatism. How much is the corneal astigmatism? It's plus 5, 6, 3. We will measure the corneal astigmatism. It estimates the radius of curvature of the cornea, which helps in contact lens fitting. So we can also measure that how much curve is the cornea for the contact lens fitting. Tear film evaluation. We will use the keratometer for doing the tear film test. We'll look after staining the patient, or without staining we will look, ask the patient to open the eyes and then ask not to blink, and we'll note down the readings. If the Myers become blur within 10 seconds or below 10 seconds, then the patient has a dry eye. Detection of the irregular astigmatism. So irregular astigmatism, which is because of the keratoconus, pterygium as well as the corneal scarring. Next one is the IOL power calculation. Because if the cornea is opacified or cornea has a lot of pterygium or any kind of condition, the AR machine is unable to find out the K1, K2 values, and we have to use the manual keratometer. Sources of error. Now, while using the keratometer, what are the sources of error? Improper calibration means we have not proper calibrated, or the image is looking blur and we are considering it the clear, and we have adjusted the knobs and taking the readings. Faulty positioning of the patient. If the patient is improper seating, lack of proper fixation of the patient can't fixate properly. Reduced vision. If the patient has the blurry vision, or if the examiner is not fully corrected, then it gives a source of error. Improper focus of corneal image. If the corneal image is not properly focused, okay, it means if it is blurry, then the result will be blurry or improper. Abnormal lid position. For example, if a patient has the ptosis, so the Myers will not form at a proper position and abnormal lid position. Next one, disadvantages. Now the keratometer can only measure the 3 mm of the cornea. Only central cornea is measured. This keratometer can't measure the peripheral cornea. Irregular corneal surface cannot be measured. If the cornea surface is irregular, then readings can't be taken. It is difficult to perform on the nystagmus patient. If the patient has a nystagmus and the cornea get continuously moved, then we are unable to perform this test on the nystagmus patient. This was the end. Thanks for your patience listening.